If you feel like your money's disappearing right now, you're not imagining it. Petrol, groceries, rent, everything is going up, but your income probably isn't. But what's causing it? Most Australians aren't even talking about. And it's about to get a lot worse if you don't understand this. Think about the last time you filled up your car, or went grocery shopping, or checked on your rent. Nothing's getting cheaper. Petrol is now pushing $2.50 a litre. Diesel, over $3, if you can find it. Groceries seem to be going up every single week. Hell, even getting an Uber costs more now. It just feels like you're doing everything right, yet somehow you're still falling further and further behind. And this is the thing that most people don't realise. It all starts with fuel. The Australian economy effectively runs on fuel. And while you're feeling the effects at the pumps right now, this is only the start of the problem. It's actually going to get a lot worse. We use fuel for just about everything, and it's essentially the backbone of the Australian economy. Trucks deliver food and goods all around the country. If fuel costs increase, those transportation costs also increase. And this means that the cost of goods for businesses increases, and they can't absorb those margins, so they pass them on to the customers. The customers being you. And that means the price of everything just goes up. Fuel is essentially the cost behind the cost. And even if you're a smug EV driver, or perhaps you don't own a vehicle at all, fuel cost increases affect everyone because the cost of fuel is effectively baked into all of our goods and services. Even if you don't drive, you're still paying for fuel. And because of things like supply chain lag, a lot of these cost increases are yet to be felt. But they are coming, and chances are these increased costs are going to be here to stay for a while. Petrol increases freight costs, which increases groceries. Increased petrol costs means increased costs of trades and building materials. So building anything now costs more. If petrol's up, so is the cost of services. And that just means everything else increases too. Fuel's what allows everything to get from point A to point B. And when fuel costs increase, so do the costs of every product and service that relies on it. And unfortunately, this is where things start to get really serious. Higher prices pushes up inflation. If inflation remains high, there's increased pressure on the RBA to raise interest rates. Interest rates increasing also mean the cost of living increases, and there's less money for people to spend. Less money in the economy, and it all starts to slow. And this is how cost of living pressures can turn into a recession. I'll be real with you, this situation is far from great, but there are some things that you can do to lessen the impacts of all this and hopefully put a bit more money in your back pocket. Firstly, awareness. Start tracking where your money actually goes. What you think you spend your money on and what you actually spend your money on are two very different things. And rarely is big purchases the cause of this issue. Most of the time it's the small little purchases that you don't think about that add throughout the month. If you're buying a coffee and lunch every day when you go to work, that's easily $20 a day. It's $500 a month. But you don't give it a moment's thought when you swipe your credit card, do you? The more intentional you are with your money, the more money you'll have. It's just how that works. Secondly, cost controls. Yes, Jeremy, of course, spending less money means I'll have more money. It's kind of a given, isn't it? Well, yeah, that's kind of the point, but most people don't bother to do this. And particularly in the current timeline, cutting expenses that are very closely linked to fuel makes a lot of sense. Things like delivery, eating out, or unnecessary trips. And if you do need to fill up, use apps like Petrol Spy that will give you pricing on petrol in your area. And these prices can be wildly different. And something as simple as filling up at the servo a couple of blocks away could save yourself 10 or 15 bucks when you go to fill up. Small, I know, but it kind of all adds up, doesn't it? It's also a good time to review things like your insurances to make sure you're getting the best deal, or to ring your bank and haggle for a couple of points off your mortgage. Or at the very least, have a look at your subscriptions. If you're not using Netflix, why pay for it? Taking action with these things can often save you a few $100 a month. Many people, though, can't be bothered to do this. And sometimes saving $1 is easier than making $1. Increasing your income. I mean, it kind of goes without saying, doesn't it? If you don't have enough money, making more money is probably going to be helpful. But sometimes you do need some quick money. For me, I've always loved selling my crap on Facebook Marketplace. Seriously, there is always someone who will buy your crap. It puts money in your back pocket and clears out unwanted things from around the home. Also consider temporary casual work. If you need a bit of extra cash, there's nothing wrong with picking up a job on the side. Or freelancing if you have a skill set that you can easily monetize. You can also consider changing jobs if your industry is presently hiring. Remember, it costs nothing to apply for a new gig, but if you can land an extra 10k a year in salary, that could make a world of difference to you. Lastly, if you're behind on your bills or struggling to feed your family, don't be afraid to ask for help. Services like the National Debt Hotline and charities like Food Bank and Office Harvest are here to help families through hard times. And if you're financially fortunate enough to be in a good place right now, consider donating a meal or two or a few dollars or hell, just a few hours of your time to help some people in need. The world we find ourselves in right now is unfair. The little bit of help that you offer could mean the world of difference to someone else. I hope this helped you understand a little bit more about what's happening in the world right now. If you're interested in more videos like this, please subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.